Welcome to Seoul. Today, we're stepping into a place where time seems to fold in on itself. We've just arrived at Uljiro 3-ga Station. Let's head out through exit 1 to begin our journey into the heart of what locals call Hipjiro. As we step outside, you'll immediately notice the contrast. To one side, towering modern office buildings. To the other, a labyrinth of narrow alleys filled with old tool shops and printing presses that have stood here for decades. This raw, industrial grit is exactly what gives this neighborhood its soul. We're weaving through these hidden paths toward a very special destination. It's a place that perfectly captures the neutro, new and retro vibe of Seoul. Keep a close eye on the walls.
이 좁은 골목에 커피 한약방을 찾아왔어요. 그런데 여기에 원래 디저트 가게도 같이 있었다고 하는데 서울시 재개발 때문에 디저트 가게는 문을 닫았다고 합니다. 그래도 커피 한약방은 운영하고 있대요.
In Uljiro, the most famous spots are often tucked away behind the narrowest gaps. And here we are. This is Coffee Hanyakbang. It sits on the historic site where Hyominseol, the medical center for the common people during the Joseon dynasty, once stood. Today, instead of herbal medicine, they brew some of the finest filter coffee in the city. Just take a look at this atmosphere. It feels like we've traveled back 100 years, doesn't it? Inside, the air is thick with the rich aroma of roasted beans. We've ordered their signature hand-drip coffee, a smooth milk tea, and a seasonal fig tart for a bit of sweetness. In a place like this, you don't just grab a drink, you pause to take in the craftsmanship. Take a look at this. Watching the barista carefully pour the water is almost meditative. Every drop is handled with such precision, capturing the deep, complex flavors that Coffee Hanyakbang is famous for. It's a slow process, but in the middle of a busy city like Seoul, this slowness is exactly what we need. The rustic tart topped with fresh figs, the creamy milk tea, and that perfect cup of coffee. Sitting here in this narrow alleyway, surrounded by the echoes of old Seoul, every bite and every sip feels like a piece of history.
저희 지금 커피 한약방에서 음료를 시켜서 왔는데요. 지금 외국인 손님분들도 계시고 되게 맛있는 디저트들이랑 정말 옛날 시대로 돌아온 것 같아요. 해민서 자리에 이 카페를 지은 거라고 하는데 분위기가 너무 좋습니다.
Let's take a moment to enjoy this hidden gem before we head back out.
저는 이게 막 필터 커피 전문점이라고 해가지고 되게 독특한 막 쓰거나 신 맛의 원두를 하시는 줄 알았는데 되게 맛있어요, 생각보다.
Stepping out of the cafe, we leave the quiet past behind and dive back into the living, breathing heart of the neighborhood. We're heading towards Sewon Plaza, but to get there, we have to pass through a place that feels like a hidden industrial museum. As we walk through these narrow passages, look closely at the shops lining the path. These are metal precision workshops. For decades, this has been the epicenter of Seoul's manufacturing history. They say in Uljiro, you can build a tank from scratch if you have the right blueprints. You can almost feel the heat and hear the sharp, rhythmic sounds of metal being shaped with incredible precision. Emerging from the narrow alleys, we find ourselves walking alongside the Cheonggi Arcade. Built in the late 1960s, this massive concrete structure was Korea's first ever mixed-use commercial and residential complex. It stands as a giant monument to Seoul's rapid industrial growth. Now, let's head upstairs to the second floor deck. This elevated walkway was recently revitalized to connect the old electronics market with the new generation of visitors. As we climb up, the view opens up, and you get a completely different perspective of the bustling city streets below. We finally arrived at Dashi Sewon Square. This wide open plaza serves as the grand entrance to the complex. It's a place where people gather to rest and where the city's history is preserved right beneath our feet. Take a look around. The contrast between the vintage facade of the plaza and the sleek skyscrapers of Central Seoul is truly breathtaking in 180 degrees.
After a quick look around the ground level, we're heading back up to the second floor pedestrian deck. This elevated path is the artery of Ulchido, and we're going to follow it as we start our walk toward the south. As we walk south, the atmosphere shifts again. This long stretch of the deck is lined with shops that feel like a time capsule. You'll see everything from vintage audio equipment and glowing vacuum tubes to specialized lighting and obscure electronic parts. Each shop window holds a piece of Seoul's industrial legacy. There's something hypnotic about the repetitive structure of these concrete columns and the long, straight path ahead. Now we're crossing the glass-walled bridge that spans across Cheonggyecheon Stream. Looking down, you can see the peaceful flow of the water and people strolling along the banks. A calm oasis right in the middle of this concrete jungle. This bridge isn't just a path, it's a link between two different eras of Seoul's architecture. As we move further south, we're literally walking through the layers of time that built this city. Let's keep going and see where this industrial labyrinth leads us next. Wait, do you smell that? It's the unmistakable scent of Sichuan spices. Here it is, Chuan Chuan Juba. With its vibrant neon lights and retro Chinese vibe, it feels like we've stumbled upon a hidden bar in the back streets of Hong Kong.
돌아다니다가 너무 힘이 들어서 여기 서현상가에 있는 천천 시추안 전문점에 왔습니다. 그냥 빠르게 이렇게 먹고 가는 곳인 것 같아요. 한번 먹어볼게요. 쌀국수 너무 맛있겠다. 여기 위에 무슨 고추 기름 같은 게 잔뜩 있는데 뭔가 매콤하면서 엄청 맛집일 것 같은 느낌? 계란 후라이가 진짜 잘 된 것 같은 진짜 중국식 볶음밥 너무 맛있을 것 같아요.
Inside, the energy is electric. We're diving into their signature skewers dipped in a spicy, numbing broth. The bold flavors are a perfect match for the gritty, soulful atmosphere of Ulchido. There's something incredibly satisfying about enjoying these fiery flavors while looking out at the old arcade through the window.
우리는 아주 놀라운 곳에 와 있습니다. 여기는 1960년대 모습을 그대로 간직하고 있는 곳인데요. 여기는 1km가 넘는 초대형 최대 주상복합입니다. 여기는 원래 일제강점기 시절에 그 미국의 폭격 때문에 이 도심이 전체가 이제 파괴되는 것을 막기 위해 방화대지라는 것을 설계했다고 하는데요. 이제 그 시절이 끝나고 이 김현옥 시장이 1960년대 이제 부임하면서 이것을 이제 미래지향적인 그런 건물로 바꾸려고 그 당시 되게 유명한 건축가였던 김수근 건축가의 그 설계를 받아서 이렇게 1km가 넘는 초대형 주상복합 상가로 만들었다고 해요. 지금도 그 모습을 그대로 간직하고 있고요. 이 위에 청계상가, 뭐 대림상가, 세운상가 이런 것들이 다 이렇게 모아서 아주 복합 상가를 이루고 있습니다.
Inside the arcade, a security guard informed me that filming is restricted here, so I've stepped back outside. It's a reminder to always respect the local rules of these historic workspaces. This is where today's journey ends. Thanks for exploring the heart of Uljiro with me.